No audio. Thank you, Marcos. Off to a flying start. All right, let me start that again. So welcome to the Rawkode Academy. I'm David Flanagan, blah, 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 also known as Rawkode. And this is the first cluster that we've had in quite a while. So I'm really excited to be back. We've got lots of clusters planned over the next 12 weeks. And today is a good special one to kick us back off because we've got two people who have previously participated in Clustered, and it's going to be a whole lot of fun. So lots of hellos in the chat. I'll get to them in just a minute. But before we do that, I want to just say thank you to our sponsors that helped make Clustered happen. So first and foremost, Teleport. Teleport is a product that we have been using on Clustered since the very first episode, and they've been supporting this channel for the last few months, and I can't thank them enough. Teleport is a great product. We use it every single week to fix these broken clusters, and I recommend that you all go check it out at the link below. There. I've never done that before. I also want to thank Equinix Metal. They were my previous employer, and it was great having access to bare metal. But Equinix have very generously decided to continue supporting Clustered by providing all the bare metal clusters, all the bare metal machines for me to install a cluster onto. So thank you very much, Equinix Metal. Always a pleasure. Alrighty, let's say hello to our wonderful guests for today. Bum bum bum. Hello, Russell. Hello, Marek. How are you both?
Hey, how you doing? Good. Just got my break in on time.
Well, I've already broken the show by muting myself at the start, so at least the first thing that went wrong was me, as it always is. Can we start with a little bit of an introduction? We'll start with you, Russell.
Hi, I'm Russell. I'm in Rawkode's Discord quite a lot. I don't work in tech anymore, so I'm not going to promote anything or try to recruit anybody. Just have fun.
All right, thank you very much, Mark.
My name is Marek. I've worked with Kubernetes for a little while. Did a lot with actually like the control plane stuff, and I've been trying to share my knowledge with some educational content here on YouTube. And yeah, I'm excited to get into this cluster and see how it's broken.
I'm sure they're not broken too badly, right? You've both been very kind to each other as those smirks fill up your face. You can always tell how devious someone's been by that smirk, that smile that comes on their face as we're about to get started. All right, lots of lows. Hello, everybody. Let's get on to our first cluster. So before we got started, Marek, you offered to be the first fixer. So I'm going to pop up my screen share. I've set the timer to 46 minutes, so that's 1 minute for us to get things going. So I'm going to open a session on the Russell control plane. And if you can join this session, please remember not to open a new one and start exporting your kubeconfig, and we'll take it from there. So best of luck.
Okay, 1 second. How do I join that session? It's not letting me.
It's not letting you? So I don't, well, it's going to flash my IP address, but I guess it doesn't really matter, does it? If you go to activity and then click on active sessions, there should be a join button next to my IP address and stuff.
Yep. Sorry, my bad. I forgot. All right, there we go.
You're in.
So let's get started with setting up our kubectl here. Let's see. So, we have a story. I have heard that the stories are legendary, so we're going to check that out. Let's see. We have chapters. My goodness.
Are these hints or are these a story that we should be following along, Russell? What do you want us to do?
I'm surprised Welcome to the Shire's still there. I think that might be empty, but yeah. So do what you want, but as soon as you find a problem, maybe go into chapter 1 and have a look.
All right. So let's check for a control plane first, Marek, right?
Yeah. Okay. So let's export our kubeconfig, which I think our kubeconfig is stored at. is admin conf. Okay, so we'll just do this. This is where, as I was reminded, kubeadm likes to deposit its kube config. So
All right, and what command are you going to use to check for this control plane then? What's your choice?
I just kind of start with nodes. 1 second. kubectl.
I do love a good
denied.
permission denied error. Always
right off the bat. Okay, was that I don't have permission to kubectl or to the git nodes?
That is a binary Linux error, right?
Yeah, which would just.
Well, Kevin is watching with snacks. Hopefully you've got a wee beer there too, Kevin. If not, maybe next time. Yeah, WHICH.
Oh. So I have root here. 1 second. Let me just do. Oh.
Oh, don't do that. Ah.
Oh yeah, that was actually really. That's not what I meant. That is not what I meant.
And if you control C that, we're probably going to be stuck with a rather interesting terminal, I think, right?
Oh, was I not supposed to control C?
No, if you control C it. Oh no, you're okay. You're okay. Normally you get stuck in like some sort of weird Unicode binary blurb and you have to reset the session, but I think you're all right.
How do I stop it?
It has stopped. You not see LS? I just typed it.
No, I'm gonna reconnect.
I just refresh the page. It'll be fine.
All right. Don't do that. That was dumb. Moving on. All right. So why was I getting permission denied? I was going to actually check its permission, its file permissions. That's what I wanted to do. Not.
Yeah, cat might not be the best command for that. Maybe try something else.
Yep. I haven't rejoined yet, so.
All right, I'll check the permissions while you're rejoining. Make myself useful. Those look all right, actually.
So was it binary? Was it a Linux final permission? Like, it seems weird, especially being root, that, I mean, unless if it was owned by somebody else, which it's owned by root, and it has rewrite and execute. Actually, could you try running kubectl with like the full path and not like, did he do some weird alias on kubectl, which would hurt my feelings?
Nope, you're definitely getting permission denied. But what could be causing that? Any thoughts? Keen observation from James in the chat there, I've got to say.
The timestamp looks a little suspicious.
It does, doesn't it?
I've actually never run into this.
All right, let's talk about this. So, I think there are a few ways that this could be achieved, and maybe we'll read chapter 1 in a minute if I'm wrong. But we've checked out the base permissions, right? The Octa permissions, and those look fine. We have the executable bit. So the other thing that it could be is potentially an attribute on the file that doesn't allow it to be executed. Although I'm not sure what attribute that would be. No, that does not appear to be the case. So what else could cause a permission denied would be potentially that Russell has just compiled his own kube control, which I think would be particularly devious. But I don't put it past him, especially considering our home directory here has a Go directory, doesn't it?
I think my internet's having trouble. 1 second. Let me check.
You're coming through just fine. I think you're okay.
I don't know. I'm breaking up.
You're okay on this side.
I can't hear anything that you're saying. If you guys are saying something,
Russell, can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you fine. So can you hear me, Marek?
Okay. Yeah. So I heard you, Russell.
But you didn't hear me. No?
I cannot
1
hear
o'clock,
Rawkode.
2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, rock. No, you're not hearing
I got 3 o'clock.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that could be.
This isn't part of my break.
All right. Well, Marek works that out. Why don't we entertain ourselves with the story? So we go to chapter 1.
All right. So I couldn't hear you guys, but I don't know if you can hear me. But he could have. I think what you guys were saying is his own kubectl. So I think that we could look at the history on that kubectl and if it's the actual right one, or we could read his story.
Well, you've got a hypothesis. I'm assuming you can hear me, but I don't know. We've got a hypothesis, right? We think potentially he swapped out the kube control binary. I'm kind of inclined to believe that he has. So I would suggest that why don't we just reinstall the kube control binary with that? Although Russell is saying in the chat that he only attacked the cluster.
That was about DDoSing somebody.
Oh.
Not about...
Don't trip me up, Russell. This is hard enough. Right. Marek, you there? Nope. All right. Oh, he's away. Hopefully he comes back. Otherwise, I'm fixing a cluster. Let's see if we got a control plane. So, go on, tell us, Russell. Did you recompile your own kube control?
I did indeed. I compiled it. I had a quick look at it. Did the modifications myself. Looked at the error messages. I was like, I could just echo that out, and then I've to make it look more realistic. But what I didn't do is change the date. I should have changed the date to make it look more realistic. I embedded the actual kube control in it as a resource, in a binary sort of a byte array. However, if you look at the hints, I kind of show you where it is. So I actually copied it before I put my own on. However, you installed a new one, so that's how easy it is.
All right, so I'm not going to read this out loud for everybody. I'll just leave it there for a moment.
Yeah, I have to apologise to anybody that likes Lord of the Rings. Yeah, I might have desecrated it. Sorry.
All right. Okay. So we got the plot. We got the hint, which I'm assuming is just going to say. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So when we run KGet pods, we have a Postgres, but we don't have our clustered application. So I'm going to check for my deployment. Oh, that's mean. Now I have to get the YAML. All right. So all the automation for this lives under clustered.
That's what I forgot to do. I forgot to copy that on for you.
Workloads, Kubernetes, deployment, raw, copy. Oh, that's right. I'm in this. thing. Oh, wrong one. Kube control apply -f. Oh, sneaky, sneaky, sneaky. All right. Let's check for the obvious things here. Mutating webhook configurations. All right. Yeah, Marek has just reached out and said his internet is having problems. So I'm just going to keep debugging the cluster for now, and hopefully Marek can join us again.
Yeah.
Okay, so cool effect. Like I applied the deployment YAML. It appears to work. Oh, that is a very restricted view of my cluster. Maybe not actually, because oh yeah, okay, because this is bare metal cluster. Yeah,
that's deployments, isn't it? So yeah, that's all they should have.
Yeah, I was just having a moment. Okay, so where's my deployment? So it gets accepted. Okay. Deployment. Deployments. Let's pop open one more of these. Oh, wow. I'm gonna have to get a URL again or copy it from here. Oh, I'm not gonna have my export. This is what I get for trying to watch it. Okay, I want to see if it flashes in for a second. Or if it's just not there at all. So let's go back to our watch. Ah, there we go. Okay. So something it is getting created, but it's getting deleted pretty quickly. So I suspect that this could be the story of the rogue process. So do I see anything here that has Russell's signature on it? Now, you could be hiding something on another node as well. That looks all right. That's that WW. Okay, no weird chiblet params. Don't think so. Cilium, teleport. I'll assume that's okay. I'll put it in the suspect list. Control plane, etcd. And then kernel processes. All right. Do you mind if I ask you one question before I go down some rabbit hole here?
Fire away, yeah.
Now, is there a process running on one of the worker nodes that I should go be looking for, or is that me going down the wrong path?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, there is a process.
All right.
You guys hear me?
We can hear you.
Yep.
Welcome back.
I'm sorry. I think we're having pretty bad snowstorms in my area of the world, so I don't know. Hopefully that doesn't happen again.
All right.
I'm logging back in. You guys can continue what you are, and I'll catch up. So.
Okay, so I'll tell you what I did is I ran a watch on the deployments and recreated it because our deployment was missing and it got deleted pretty quickly. So I'm assuming that there was a rogue process running on a control plane, but I couldn't see anything. And I asked Russell if I should be checking the other nodes, and he said yes. So I
Is
have
there like a road container running?
Well, if I can, I'm going to just see if I can find something in PSAUX at the moment. So you can join a session on the worker one if you want and start looking at that process list, or you could jump onto worker two and see if you can see anything. And then
Okay, I'll jump onto worker 2.
And then I'll hop over once we find it. It would be really
speed it up. Since you've already guessed it, jump speed it up. You probably want to jump onto worker 2.
All right. Well, I'm going to open a new session because I don't want to flash your IP address to the world, Marek. So, if you want to join this one,
I'll join your session. All right.
All right. What looks suspicious? There's a cron process running.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if we run cron tab -e. No. I should really put this to a pager so we can both kind of follow along, right? So, I'm going to assume he's not been sneaky enough to name the binary starting with a left square bracket, although I think we'd still see a / at the start. So I'm going to trust that all left square brackets are actual kernel processes. I'm pretty sure I've tried that before on an episode. So we got a comment there from Kevin that there's an SSH process. Is there? Let's do a grep.
Yeah.
Is that not what a normal SSHD command line looks like? I mean, when in doubt. I don't think that's suspicious. What do you think? No?
Absolutely not. I don't know. I've never grepped one, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I think it's okay. I'm not terribly worried about that. We do have the cron daemon and the at daemon, so I'm not ruling those out. I'm not sure if I'd normally. Yeah, you would see those normally, wouldn't you? I've just got my suspicious head on that.
Wait.
Oh wait.
If question, when you were looking at it, was it the control plane that was killing the pod, or was the pod just dying and then the control plane restarting it over and over and over again?
Control plane.
So if it was the control plane, he'd have to have an active connection to the control plane, right?
I did consider changing the bind address on the control plane, but then we still want to deploy workloads to the worker. I mean, we could just get rid of worker 2 and have a one worker setup. That's a good idea if that's what the path you're thinking. But
well, I was just trying to try to understand how it might be working. Because if it was, it would have to be connecting via some connection. So then we could do like a port scan.
Yeah, but I don't want to let this sneaky guy away with whatever this is. It's your call, Marek. What do you want to do?
I'm just looking for a second.
Apparently the chat are finding something called orc. Did I miss? Oh, there we go. How did I not see that?
Where is it? I don't see it either. I'm looking. Can we just grep for orc?
Oh
yeah.
All right. Do you want to take
That's
over?
probably suspicious. Yeah. All right. So let's see.
All right, good catch, audience. Thank you.
Can I just add, the one part of my break that didn't work because moving between kernels was I was recompiling PS. So if I got that working, you'd never have seen it. So be thankful you're on Ubuntu.
It's like orc in PS clothing. All right. So we found this. What do we want to do? Do we just want to kill it? And then let's see. How did he? I'm not sure if I'm connected. I'm trying to type. It's not typing.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, there we go. Sorry.
You think he's created a unit file for it?
I don't know. I thought I'd check. Oh, I guess not.
Yeah, I think we
can just kill it.
Menace 9 sucker that, yeah.
Is it not typing again?
Let me do it.
I was trying to do just kill -9 on the ID.
It is not coming back, so that's a good sign.
That's why I was checking, like, if he made a system file for it to make it just come back.
All right, let's jump back onto our control plane. I've got a curl command in history that applies my deployment. And it does appear to persist this time. So I'll let you take over from here.
All right. We have nodes that look like they're running. Let's check our deployment. So we can check this is just actually, let's check all of it. Just in case there's other things going on so we have an ambassador failure. I think that's actually normal though.
That is normal because I haven't fixed it yet. So yeah, just ignore that.
We do have a core DNS issue. This also I think is normal. This VIP, but the core DNS is not. So that's probably going to be an issue. Let's see. Is there anything else at this point? Everything else looks... Let's see. So let's check out core DNS.
Yeah.
And that's running the kube system. All right. And we'll just get the logs of this one.
Created 70 minutes ago.
Yeah, that's suspicious. He probably changed the image on it. So, okay. Let's see. I don't need the pod in it.
Yeah, you don't need that.
Invalid duration 5. All right, let's go ahead and check out the core DNS deployment. See what if there's anything that looks weird in that. We're just going to call maybe a describe. Actually, let's do get deployment.
I mean, I would just jump straight in there with kube control get edit, but then I'm a bit of a wild card.
All right, let's do it. Let's edit.
It's not like we can make it any more broken, right?
Oh no, don't say that because I can. Absolutely. I can't type.
Yeah, typing on a live stream is always the funniest thing ever.
I've just started, like in the last month, I switched to the Moonlander keyboard. And that's been an experience.
Yeah, you'll need to remove deployment or deployment.apps. Yeah, I gave away my Moonlander. I gave up trying to type with it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
All right, let's see. What does this deployment look like? We have app, kubedns, name, namespace. Where's the image file? I'm interested in this image. Wait. Doesn't there have to be an image file? Doesn't normal?
Yeah, you need to scroll down a wee bit further to the spec template spec.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought it cuts off halfway on my screen.
Just resize the window like a millimeter, and it fixes the scroll. It's a teleport bug.
Oh, okay. There we go. It was all just okay. I got it. Thanks. All right. So let's see. Where is this image?
So the image looks okay.
Yeah, it does. What's failure threshold 5? I need to pull up maybe a standard one. I'm not sure if I see anything that looks suspicious.
So I'll give you a bit of context here. So this file might be tampered with. I think the age of it definitely means that it could be. However, there's a config map in the kube system namespace.
This one. Oh, you want to just check out the config map?
Although it does also look like he's passing in his own core file. Good catch. I never saw that. So where's that mount point? Do you want to search for that? It should be towards the bottom of this file.
So let's see. The mount point is right here at Etsy core DNS.
Okay, so if we go...
So...
Now my teleport is doing that thing.
Okay. When you resize, it does it to me.
All right.
Okay, I'll just leave it. I just will realize that it's... okay. So yeah. Sorry. I won't resize it again. You resize for the stream, and then I won't touch it.
Right. How does yours look right now? Is it broken?
It's broken, but I can deal with it if I just understand that I can scroll down more. So
right, okay. So we've got a volume mount of etc. core DNS. It's coming from the config volume. So if we search for a config volume,
that's the core file.
This is coming from a config map called core DNS. So let's do... I'm just going to type since you've kind of got a half broken screen, but just...
No, that's good. Just edit
This looks like your error message, right?
Yeah, the cancel 5. Maybe we just delete that line.
I think it should be a duration, so 5s.
Oh.
Okay. Should that fix it?
We can check. I don't know if you'll need to restart it. I think was it crash loop back off, so it should restart anyways. So we shouldn't have to delete it.
I think it's still called kubedns, right? Yeah. Damn it.
Well, we can get the logs and see if that changed it. I don't know the core DNS configuration that well.
Okay, those things are just all broken. Russell.
He just rolled his face on the keyboard in this.
It's as if he's added these just to make me think, adding an S will be okay, when really it does nothing.
I was going to say, I think we just delete them. I can pull up a standard core DNS file.
Let's get the logs again. What's they complaining about now? Should these be strength? I don't know. I don't configure core DNS ever.
I don't either. So like,
it didn't want about the health lame duck one, right? So Although it says string to I, right? So stoi is string to integer. So that probably should be a 30 in that case.
Right, a time to live makes sense.
I'm going to delete it one more time, and if I see crash loop back off or failing, I'm going to be annoyed.
There we go.
Okay.
So
we found a log line in CoreDNS. Someone messed with the config. We have that fixed. So
let's just get all in the default system here and see what looks like. Let's see. Everything looks to be running. Can we access this now?
We can. So we can use the application tab on teleport, where I have exposed Klustered. And let's see. All right, we have the watch tab, which is version 1. So now we have to try and upgrade the application to V2.
All right. So let's just run an update on the. Let's just edit the deployment. I don't know.
Good call.
Should be fine.
I've had comments on Klustered where people call me careless for the way that I work with the cluster. So,
I mean, let's be clear. I probably wouldn't do this if this was a production cluster, but yeah, that's a little bit different. So we're going to edit deployment of Klustered.
A moment of truth for Russell. Is his break going to work?
Sorry, I'm working on a little tiny screen here.
Okay, let me do the version for you. Oh, sorry. I'm just making it worse now. Oh, I really need to find a better way to search for that. There we go.
Yeah, that's. Thank you. All right.
Yeah, it looks like it's good. Moment of
yeah,
truth,
let's
Russell.
Try accessing it again. Let's access it.
We have a DNS issue.
Success.
All right. What do you want to look at?
So we have a DNS issue with possibly our database. Upgrading it to version 2 is what caused that. 1 second. Let's see if we have anything that looks wrong here. So, you know what? DNS is not my greatest strong suit. So, let's see. We could create a sidecar pod and try to start pinging around, but that seems like a lot of effort.
Yeah. Why don't we try describe? Why don't you do get service and describe it and see if we have endpoints as a starting point, and then maybe we'll get adventurous. So we have the Postgres service there. So you'll want to describe it and see if that is even working. Although I suspect it is from the first image.
Well, I was going to say it worked the first time, which is the weird thing is I would expect the upgrade to the version number to not have changed the Postgres backend, right? Because it's its own deployment as a stateful set.
True. Shall we exec into the clustered pod and do some debugging? If you got
I don't know of anything else to like. I don't know of another way. So
I mean, he could have forked the clustered repository, rebuilt his own clustered image, and injected it into the cluster. But I don't think Russell would do that.
That's amazing. If you did that, hats off.
So, yeah, there's a few things I'm curious about. I think we should get inside that pod.
Which one? The clustered?
Yeah. Okay, I want to run some DNS commands and see if we can actually
Yeah.
If we can get an IP address.
Go for it.
All right. Okay.
It's not typing for me again. I'm trying to just do the exec. I think sometimes when I highlight it, it gets weird.
All right. So we got. Did I not leave my stuff? This. I did leave a shell on these images. Maybe these aren't my images after all.
Okay. But he would have had to upload it to your he would have. It's pulling from a public repository, right? He can't have screwed with that image.
Wait. There are a few ways to screw with that image.
Describe the deployment again. It's coming from your repository. Unless we hacked your repository.
Look at the image ID.
Oh. Okay. So what we need to do is just nuke the local image, right?
So what's the pull policy on this?
Just set it to always.
Yeah, let's do edit deployment clustered. Pull policy. It is on always. Okay. He's injected the image another way. I can only think of one way. I don't want to jump to conclusions just yet. We've got 7 minutes.
Okay. Let's see. How would you inject your image? I mean, like, you can hijack your DNS so that it's not going there. That would be one way.
I would hope it failed the TLS negotiation.
Yeah.
It could have
that's
fucked with containerd.
To pull from like a local repository first?
Yeah, containerd has like this alias support where you can tell it to, instead of going to Docker Hub, go to the public GCR or something like that.
I've never updated that. Let's check that out. Right. I don't know where that is. So.
Okay, so what worker is this on?
This is
worker 2. All right.
Yeah.
There we go, worker 2. So I'm pretty sure there's a dump config on containerd. Whoa, I just ran another containerd. It is not respecting my signals. All right, let's get another one.
All right, new session on worker 2.
Yeah. All right. So let's run ps grep containerd. So that's my rogue process, so I guess I can kill that.
So if, let's see.
It's not showing me. I'm sure I told it to show me everything. Oh, wait, I put one too many W's. That doesn't help. Okay. Container D help. Oh, now I've got a dodgy session. Config help. Dump. Okay, so he's not doing this through containerd, I don't think. There was no admission controllers, at least dynamic ones. We didn't check the control plane for static admission controllers, but then I'm not even sure if there is one that substitutes out images.
Yeah, it would have to also be pretty sophisticated because it had to pick up that it was version 2 that it needed to substitute for, because version 1 worked. I guess maybe he just left version 1 working and we were on a bad container anyways. Never mind. That falls apart.
Maybe he compiled containerd.
Wait, let's go back to the story.
What chapter should we be looking at?
Chapter 4.
Oh, so this is the final break. Let's
Plot.
read the plot. So there's that trust issue, which is so I think we are.
Ooh,
Maybe he has done some DNS trickery, but he's put it on insecure mode of some sort, right?
wait. What about network policy?
To redirect traffic.
Yeah.
Maybe I've not heard of it used in that way, but I'm not going to write it off.
I don't know. I was just thinking possibly on.
I'm not seeing anything. I don't think that's it. I mean, could it just be as hacky as posts? No. Right, we got 2.5 minutes. Do we want to look at the hint?
Yeah, let's look at the hint. I don't.
So I think that's what's just telling us that we can't trust the image, which we know.
Yeah.
So there's a good comment there from Nerlip in the chat saying that we should check for the DNS policy on our deployment, which is a really good idea.
Let's do that.
Edit deployment. There's too many ways to break a Kubernetes.
I will say this is incredibly mean what I've done.
All right, this is a clustered first policy, which I think is all right. Now, if he was going to do it with the clustered DNS, we would be able to see it in here. And there's nothing there. Oh, I hate you so much, Russell.
Yeah, that's the only thing I wanted from this. Because it is so mean, do you want to just talk through how it could be done instead of you going and having a look at things and wasting time?
I'm not wasting time. I'm fixing a cluster. Okay.
Are we close? Are we close?
So you've obviously found the fact that I'm changing the image. It's just how does an image get onto a pod? Not pod, a node, I guess.
Ooh, can we? Can we check the kube config or the kubelet config? Or am I completely off in checking that?
So
super warm.
Super warm. Okay. Because the kubelet is the one that's going to be responsible for telling the OCI to.
I think it tells containerd to pull the image. He's not he's not modified the clustered DNS, which I thought.
So, if you were there, I would have said hot. And we're running out of time, and just, what I've done is really, really mean. You noticed how I had go on.
We noticed go, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't just kubectl that I built.
Did you actually compile a kubelet?
Yes. Specifically targeting clustered v2. You found the trick really, really quickly. So if you look at your actual page, I give you a hint in a meta tag. I was hoping you'd go and have a look and go, he's broke DNS again somehow. So if you view the source, that's not actually, obviously it's not actually your container.
You compiled half of Kubernetes for this, you realize.
Pretty much. And on the Ubuntu system, because I did it on my laptop, copied it over, and it didn't work because it's like I'm on a different kernel version. Yeah. And again, I did a backup, but it's as I said, it was incredibly mean what I did.
Close all tabs. Russell is gone. Bye.
Russell, I don't even want you. I don't even want you to touch my cluster because like I didn't do anything half as good. That was fantastic.
No, that was mean.
No, yeah, I agree with David. That was mean. That was almost more for David than for you.
That was good. I will never try. You know what? Honestly, it's probably a good moral of the story is don't trust your binaries.
Well, that's one of those things. You know, I was talking on the Discord about how I'd really love like a clustered check command, and one of the things it would have to do is just do the checksums on all the compiled binaries for Kubernetes. Because
we should have, after the first binary, we should have just replaced all the binaries. Just been like, no, we're done.
Well, yeah, we had to hint. We seen the Go folder. Like we should have known. I thought he would have stopped the kube control. All right.
Yeah.
Good break, Russell. That was good fun. And good.
Hopefully, yeah. I learned that how sort of like pods get deployed on. I was like, I kind of think I know what's going on, but yeah, it goes by the API server into the kubelet. Kubelet tells container D, and I was like, kubelet, I can attack it there and change it before it gets to container D. It's like I learned a little bit about how the overall ecosystem works from it.
Yeah, I knew you wouldn't go down a container D route in my head because I'm like, we've seen that a couple of times now in Klustered, and I didn't think you would go down that because you know I would look. But to compile your own kubelet was particularly harsh. Good job.
It's easier than you think. You can get the source code from GitHub for the actual release, and all the make files setting everything up for you. So you can get it done within like a few minutes.
Well, now the boot is on the other foot.
Yep.
Now, I'm going to warn you, Russell. One of these breaks is unintentional. I accidentally broke teleport, and one of the nodes just never came back, and I never touched that node. So we're going to have to debug that one together. So, fair warning on that one.
All right, I have opened a session on control plane 1 for the cluster. Russell, if you could please start exporting your kube config, your 45 minutes start in 40 seconds.
Hang on a minute. So where's the sessions at? I can't see it
Activity,
on my screen.
and then active session.
Activity. Sorry. Oh, nervous now.
Oh, you're in. Awesome.
Yep.
Zero trust. Yep, that's the only way these days.
Right. So. Oh yeah.
Just Russell, just do me a favor and resize your screen a bunch to. Yeah, I've heard that he likes that.
Apparently, it's just because Xterm JS doesn't like it when the two terminals are different sizes, and it tries to like accommodate it. I'm going to have to like set out a size of my window and then ask everybody to resize their window to be exactly the same number of pixels. Or we could all use the terminal CLI, I guess. But.
If I do this again, I think I'll try to set up the terminal CLI. I think that would just be a better experience.
Yeah, the CLI does work well. All right, we have a working control plane, 2 not ready worker nodes.
So one of them is unintentionally broken and one of them is actually broken. Is that what we're saying?
Yes.
And he's not telling you which.
Nope.
That's fair enough. Yeah.
Actually, I didn't tell you this. There's a setup file that would have aliased that out for you.
So scheduler is a real break. Postgres is down. Ambassador, I'm assuming, is just
collateral damage. Yep.
Okay, cool.
Same with Cupid.
Right. Okay. Right. So why would the nodes? Nodes be offline. What was it called?
K20-clavin-worker-1. I can copy and paste it if you want.
Right. Nope, it's not it. Whoops. Right, clear button. Did you do it?
I did do it. Although there's a rogue K, I think, from us typing over each other. So just knock that off the end.
CPU.
Kubelet stopped posting status.
Oh, where'd you see that?
If you scroll up to the event logs.
Ah, yeah. Okay, that makes right. My screen's only partially full. So if I no, even my browser screen's just like squished. It's like it's weird.
Yeah, that's that. Sorry, it's one of those weird teleport bugs.
I didn't understand what you were talking about before when you were saying like resize the screen and all that.
What size is your monitor?
4K.
Ah, yeah, okay. So I think we're going to be too far apart to get it close.
No, it's all right. I can deal with this. I'll just resize my window. Oh no, I can't. I'll just leave it as it is.
You can resize your window, and then I'll resize mine, and maybe it'll magically work. There is like a certain number of times you can do it, and it will start working.
Right. If you just fix yours now, I'll leave mine as it is.
Are you good?
Yeah, I think so. Right.
All right. Don't touch anything except maybe type in kube control commands. Right, so all right. So do you want to jump onto the workers and check the kubelet out?
I'm still trying to see the message that says the kubelet is down. I can't see that in my.
It's underneath lease, and then there's conditions.
Have you got it on your screen?
These ones.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm blind. Right. Okay. So we need to go on to.
Yeah.
Let's go worker 1 first, though.
All right. Session started.
Give my internet a minute. Right. Come in.
Yeah, there's definitely some errors there.
Ever get a node? Worker 1 not found. Yet the kubelet is up and running. What's the command to find out the host name? So it's not.
What'd you see?
No, there's. I think I remember from one of your shows. If you change the name of the host and then restart kubelet and then change it back, it messes up with kubelet. I wonder if he's done that.
So you want to restart the kubelet again?
No, I'll have a look first. Oh. Yeah, you've. Have you resized again?
No.
I've lost a lot of text. I'm now down to like a quarter of what I was before.
Welcome to my pain. And then like it will stop letting me type for a little while because I think it puts the cursor somewhere. I don't know. I was having troubles. I'm using the terminal next time I do this.
So it is timing out, waiting for something. So is that the IP of the API? Well, I'm assuming it's the API server. 91. Let's have a look. Is it 91? No, I can't tell.
Yeah, that is the BGP address of our control plane.
So it looks like he's blocking.
So I'm going to ask Marek a question because I don't want
network
us to go down
access.
a rabbit hole here. Is this intentional, Marek, or is this not intentional? You're muted. You're still muted. The guest has muted himself. Nope, he's just hit the hang up button.
Well, I deserve that for the kubelet, so fair enough. Right, so
See, because if this is not intentional, I would get us out of it very quickly because it could just be that kubevip is acting up and not advertising our address anymore. But if it is intentional, then it's going to be some networking thing that we have to start debugging. So you could try curling HTTPS on the IP address and see what you get back. I'd say that's a good, or a ping, yeah. The space at the start.
It's a double dot.
Double dot. Yeah, there's no ICMP ping here, so maybe it is intentional.
So can I control C or will this break everything?
No, you can control C. Hey, welcome back, Marek.
I heard, I'm going to ask Marek a question, and then everything died.
Okay. Is this intentional break, or should I quickly get around this BGP issue?
Wait, what's the issue?
Worker 1 can't reach the control plane on its BGP IP.
Yeah, this is the unintentional break.
Okay, so that's all right. I think that's because kubevip is broken, so I am going to quickly fix this. We have the other IP address here.
That's why I warned you that it was unintentional.
Yeah, that's all right. Vim kubelet. What IP address is this using? Yeah, okay. So let's just swap this over.
And this might actually be affecting the other node as well.
Yeah.
There was other breaks to it though, so yeah.
Yeah, I think kubevip has had a little bit of a moment to itself.
Sorry about that. I think I helped it along in its issue. I gave it a little kick in the pants. So if you guys want to know the lesson, the moral of the story here is do not restart your clustered control plane an hour before the clustered goes live. Because
annoyingly, I'm going to have to fix kubevip because we don't have the IP address in our control planes.
I'm super sorry, Russell.
That's all right.
All right, let's get this fixed.
After what I did with that kubelet, yeah, just don't apologize to me.
All right, come here, kubevip. What is your problem?
After what you did with the kubelet, I have a ton of respect for you. So that was awesome.
I'm not sure what David thinks that. I think he made his feelings very clear. Am I disconnected? Are you?
I'm still here.
He's
there.
He's trying not to swear.
I'm not trying not to swear. I'm pretty sure this is a bug that kubevip introduced recently. Yeah, but the bind address. And I did look for 221 in here and didn't find it.
So, interestingly enough, this bug actually was always here. It just caused it not to come back okay. The kubebit was always complaining about this bind address because I actually wasted about an hour and a half of my time digging into this.
Yeah, there's a
I don't
flag you
know.
can pass.
Yeah, I've never used kubevit before
There
though.
we go. So what we need is this. And then I can modify our daemon set again, and I'll just add this flag very, very quickly. Although, why did this not happen on the other cluster?
Did you restart the control plane?
No.
So I bet you his kubevit is in a bad state. The cluster just isn't broken until you restart it.
Right.
All right. That should fix it. And we should see it's pending. Oh, yeah. Okay, so you're going to have to fix the scheduler now, Russell.
So can I go back onto the nodes, or I'll look at the scheduler first, but then are the nodes going to be working now?
Not until we get... Oh, yes. Okay, so I can just cheat and schedule the kubevit daemon set if you want. Although that shouldn't actually go through a scheduler, right?
You're asking me? I don't know. I don't
Uh,
use kubevit.
Well, wait. How is it being run? Is it run as a deployment, or is it run as a?
It's a daemon set,
If it's a daemon set, then yeah.
but it has no node.
Hmm.
And we need
That's
it.
interesting.
All right, let's cheat. Oh, we can't cheat because it's daemon set. All right, let's fix the scheduler, Russell.
Right, okay. Back to me. Right, so I can't use my shortcuts, can I? Called
Namespace.
Thank you. See, I'm not that good at Kubernetes, really. I'm just good at breaking things.
I'm not good at anything.
You're also good at breaking things.
Well, okay.
Failed container.
Yeah, I think you're going to have to get the logs of that pod.
Okay.
This is my greatest letdown. This break was supposed to rival Russell's, but didn't.
Namespace.
Thank you.
If you just tried to tool Kubi, it's really cool for switching context and namespace. Oh, look, I'm a scheduler. I'm a scheduler. I'm a scheduler.
I don't think that's what it normally puts out, so I'm assuming that the somebody has gone and changed the static manifest. So I have a trick if he's done this on the... If it works, let me try and find it. Right, am I root? So
we are always root on clustered. Oh, you're going to use the Vim backup?
Yeah.
I left a backup. I'm never that mean. If I change a file, there's a backup.
We'll find that. It's all good. Sneaky.
So he's changed the scheduler. He has edited some things, which I assume... I'm not sure if we can get back to that. Right, so...
Yeah, 3 and 4 look pretty ominous.
Yeah. So the real one is in manifests. The one in just Kubernetes is, I'm assuming, is the backup. So we're going to have a look at the
No,
manifest one first.
that's its authentication to the cluster. That is kubeconfig. Yep.
Scheduler.conf.
Yep.
Not YAML. Yeah.
Remember, you're only seeing what's in Vim.
All right, let's go look at the static manifest and we'll take it from there.
Right, so helpfully it's gone straight to that. Also, I believe if you use G and semicolon or G and comma, you can go to all of the edits. So let's have a look at that.
Well, there's something there that's interesting, yeah.
Yep, so the command and the image have been changed. So I am not sure. So I don't know what the actual real ones are going to be. I think the image is GCH. Is it Google?
Yeah, I think I can type that off the top of my head.
No, fair enough. Thank you.
I can't spell scheduler, but scheduler 120.
So there's also a backup file in .backup if you just want that one. You guys found both things. So.
All right, okay.
Right, okay.
So the actual real shame of this, Russell, is that I wrote my own scheduler, and it was supposed to run.
Why is everybody being so harsh?
And it actually runs on my kind cluster, but I didn't get its credentials correct, and then I kind of broke my cluster, so I didn't have enough time to debug it. But all it did was print out one does not simply run a pod.
Nice.
Whenever you tried to schedule something, so.
Well, you've not been that nice with your backup because you forgot to. No, that is right. Oh, so I got that right. Cool. Okay, cool.
I was going to say I'm kind with my backups. Anytime I change a manifest file, I make a backup so that.
Well, it's because the diff didn't show the image, but it's because I forgot I fixed the image and then did the diff. So. All right,
you even got the version right. That's impressive.
Hey, these are hand rolled, well, fully automated clusters, but I put a lot of love into these clusters. And then kubevep comes along and makes my life a misery.
Can't see the scheduler.
That just means the kubelet's restarted it. It takes 10-20 seconds.
Okay.
It's probably fine it might be pulling an image right now, because the pull policy was always, I believe.
Fair enough. So yeah, it sounds like you've run into the same problems I did, Marek, because I was developing my evil on a kind cluster as well, and when I moved it over, nothing worked properly.
Yeah, I just made the grave mistake of restarting my control plane, and then nothing worked, and so I didn't have time to debug it. So sorry about that. It was supposed to be a little bit more devious, just a little bit.
Come on, scheduler.
You know what? I don't know why, but I found the scheduler doesn't come back until you restart the kubelet.
Let's try and encourage it along a wee bit. There we go.
Cool.
It should. Anytime you update the static pod manifest, it should, but for some reason it wasn't.
Okay, it's now rescheduling everything that needs rescheduled, so that's good. Although my kubevep fix didn't work.
So we just give up on kubevep, yeah, that's fine. Oh, are you going to try and fix it?
There's also an environment variable we can pass in to change that port.
Okay.
No, that's a flag. I'll just try the flag again. I'm sure there's an environment variable though. I'll make one more change to it and we'll see if we can get by without.
Okay.
What's wrong with that? But just because that's what it shows as the default minus the port change that we need to make. Or colon 2, 1, 1, 2. All right, we'll see if that helps. Off you go.
Right, so you've fixed the worker nodes. So if why is it not typing? There we go.
Yeah, I had the same problem. Why isn't it typing? Sometimes it doesn't.
Both of the worker nodes, can I ask this question?
Uh-huh.
Are both of the worker nodes now intentionally broken, or is one of them still unintentionally broken?
I mean, there are minor breaks on the nodes. Yes.
So I don't think I'm going to see anything from. Oh, let's just do it anyway. If I describe the pod. That's not how you do that. Copy and paste isn't very friendly for.
I was just using the mouse. The mouse worked pretty well, which, I mean, is a context switch from your keyboard, but.
So I think. What happened? Oh.
I resized.
I'm never going to get used to that.
I'm going to open another session quickly and fix. I'll pop that over here so it doesn't thingy. But I'll get KubeVip working while you debug.
Okay.
Really sorry about the KubeVip.
That's not your fault. That is Dan Finneran's fault. Dan.
I do believe you warned us that restarting the nodes would take a long time, and you meant they take a long time.
They do, yes.
So those tolerations, are they look a bit dodgy, but I'm not sure if that's always there or not. Not ready, no execute, and unreachable, no execute. Is that just the norm?
Okay, sorry, I'm back with you now. So we're looking at.
Can you see that highlight?
No, I don't see it. That would be a cool feature though, but sadly not though.
Yeah, obviously.
Okay, so we've got 0 nodes are available, 1 node has a taint.
So just under the tolerations, are they normal?
It's pretty normal for a node to have a toleration that the node has to be ready to run on it.
Right. So what that's saying is it's not ready. If it's not ready or unreachable, yeah, don't try and execute. Don't try and schedule to it. Okay.
Right, and it's no execute on a not ready or unreachable node.
Mm-hmm. KubeVip is happy again. I would expect our nodes to be happy again very, very soon.
I would expect them to be happier. Happier.
But the BGP issue is not a thing anymore, so.
Okay, so I can go on to worker 1, can I?
We have a session open on worker 1. Yep, you can pop over there. Go hello. There we go.
Oh, that's because you were typing as well. Right, okay. What was I doing last?
Yeah, apparently I spelled Prometheus wrong on the flag. Thanks to James for pointing that out. I got it fixed. So if you restart that kubelet, I think that'll be okay.
Okay.
Assuming I set the IP address back in the config, which I'm pretty confident I did. Yeah, that's a good kubelet. That's a bad kubelet. Did I not change the IP address back? Well, I'm sorry. That just makes me a terrible, terrible person.
Node.
Should be 8191. Is it using 8191? No. Sorry, I was confident I changed that back. Oh, sorry. I was just going to run journal.
All right, I'll step back and let you.
I just want to make sure that I'm not tripping you up any more than I already am. Okay, so this isn't the BGP. This isn't TLS. This is now just a broken node from Matic, I believe. So.
Right. Filter get node info, kubelet container runtime network not ready, network plugin not ready, network plugin returns error, CNI plugin not initialized. So what has he done to the network?
Do you know how the CNI works?
No, I've never touched that to try and break it for you yet. Right, so
So what happens, I was just checking on a control plane there to see if we had our Cilium pods on all the nodes, which it appears that we do. They have an init container that actually downloads binaries to each node, which I suspect could have been tampered with, and maybe the binaries removed, which would cause that error.
Say that again, sorry, I missed that.
So we have an error in our kubelet log saying container runtime network not ready, network ready false, network plugins returned an error, CNI plugin not initialized. I can't remember where they download to. I thought it was maybe /CNI. But if we jump to the control plane node for a moment, and if we edit the daemon set.
Right, I'm on that, yeah.
All right. Cilium. There's init containers. Not what I expected to see, but doesn't mean it's wrong. Is that they download the binaries to the machine. ETC, opt CNI. Okay, so if we take a look in here, those all look okay. So that idea is dumped.
So can I have a look? Which one am I on? Why can I see inside what looks to be Vim in my?
Sorry?
In the control, I'm on the control plane and I'm inside Vim. Can I just X out of that?
Yep.
Right. So what are the?
A nice comment in the chat there from CokeGen saying, what do the logs from Cilium say? Yeah, I'd be curious about that too.
Okay, let's go look at that then.
Just pick any of the non-operator Cilium.
Okay.
Useful.
Okay. Will that be the same for all of them?
Yeah, I feel it will be too.
Just have a look at this one. Hang on a minute, bear with me.
I feel like we want to look at that daemon set again, potentially. Oh, what's this?
So this was another of the Cilium. So let's just check that I'm not going crazy. So I looked at this Cilium, which had a restart. And that's what the logs are from this one.
Yeah.
Shall we
Feel
take a
free
look
to
at?
chip in if you want.
Well, we've got hints in the story, do we? Are they on the root file system?
No,
No, but there is your setup script.
Yep.
But I don't want to. I don't want to read that.
I just wanted
to.
I'll just say there is no more image shenanigans. You can trust every other image that you find, so that we don't have to go down that rabbit hole with literally every image. You don't have to think that I hijacked Cilium image and compiled it.
But you have broken Cilium, right?
I have broken something that has broken Cilium, yes.
All right. On the worker nodes.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Cilium won't be working, possibly, yes. Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know Cilium well enough to know whether or not it would help us
Neither
identify what the problem is.
do I. All right. So what would break Cilium, right? So we don't get any logs from the pod, so we need to just work this out. The binaries do exist in Opti and I.
So I'm thinking, like, it's probably something I think outside of Kubernetes that's networky based, but it can't be taking the network interface down because we won't be able to talk to it. I believe that's right, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Even so, it shares the same IP. So it could either be a firewall or IP tables.
Let's take a look.
Right. So are we on worker one?
We are. I've ran a list on the IP tables. I mean, we could just YOLO this, right, and do a flush and see if it gets things kicking over again. So, gone. If there was an IP table rule, it no longer exists. What else could we...
Will that break Cilium, though? Or will Cilium inject its rules back in?
Cilium will just add its rules back in.
Okay.
Now we're getting a connection timeout hitting our IP here.
So because it is an IP, it can't be a host file entry. You can't override. I don't think you can override IPs to IPs.
I really hope this isn't the BGP thing again, and it's just something. Is this intentional, Mark? Just want to check. because the BGP looks okay. In fact, you can't ping a BGP address. I'm just being really silly. Okay, networking things. Has Cilium Magic Pack any rules? No. Shall we rotate the pods?
Yeah, I guess so. Like it's already been. Yeah, let's
delete everything in the world. Bye 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 bye. All right. I get a bit happy when I delete things. All right, those are terminating. We've got one up, but not quite ready. Right, one ready, one up. No rules yet. I might still be waiting for that node. Let's check. Grep. Yeah, this one's still terminating.
You on the control plane, right?
Yeah, it's not. I mean, we could maybe try and speed that along, but perhaps that's part of the break. No Cilium running. So we don't currently have Cilium working on our node, and it's not terminating. I don't see a process. So this must be a Kubernetes thing, right?
So if the node was down, Kubernetes wouldn't be able to reschedule anything, would it?
Yeah, I can't delete it because yeah, of course. I forgot about that. So it's never going to terminate because it's not. It can't reach the kubelet. We could try restarting the kubelet now that we flushed all those rules. Let's see if we get a happier kubelet.
But I think there's an underlying problem. It's going to stop the kubelet from talking to the API server.
I think you're right.
I just don't know enough now. Like this is where we start to reach my limit of Linux. I don't know anything about firewalls or anything like that. So,
all right, do you want me to give a hint?
Yes, please.
Now, I was kind of expecting the flush of the IP tables to fix it because I just did a UFW rule to drop all communication from the server.
No, UFW wouldn't.
But UFW just sets up IP table rules, right? Now, I don't know if it just reset it, but it didn't look like it re-updated the IP tables, so I don't know. The IP table
I have stopped
UFW
now. Yeah.
Yeah, the IP table flush should have fixed it because again, UFW is just a front end for the IP tables. So
this probably is my BGP thing again.
This is probably your BB. I was gonna say you actually did fix the thing I broke because I just dropped the port that the kubelet communicates on.
So. Okay.
So that was.
Has that been done on Worker 2 as well?
No, I didn't repeat. I don't do repeats this time.
Right. So is Worker 2 down intentionally, or is that a BGP problem as well?
Probably both.
Okay, right. So there is a definite break on Worker 2 as well.
The break on Worker 2 is more subtle. I would actually expect the node to show available, just not function properly.
Okay, I am going to very quickly delete our kubeweb control plane. Bare metal is hard, you know.
Kubernetes is hard. It's very, very big.
I'd saved that curl command. I'm going to try restarting the kubelet one more time.
Okay.
Fly. Right. I don't think kubevip is doing what it's supposed to be doing, which is really frustrating because that's kind of ruined any chances we have of getting this to work.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys.
That is my
right.
my BGP address, right? The 8191. Yeah. 178, and I've not messed that up, have I? No. Ah, damn you, kubevip.
So
with this, it's going to be really hard to actually debug the other thing. So I can
Yeah.
either just step you through them, since we're low on time.
Well, would any of your breaks have actually stopped kubevip from being able to advertise?
No.
No.
I specifically with I did very targeted. So like with my firewall, I dropped the kubelet port, not anything else. I didn't drop all communication ports because that would like break SSH and things like that. So they were very targeted towards the kubelet. So no, it wouldn't have broken it.
So should we try? Oh, we've only got a minute left. I was going to say, should we go on to the worker 2 because that hasn't had its IP tables flushed yet or Cilium stopped.
Yeah, this is where it's going to be very hard to solve the other issues. They're not hard. They're just if this isn't working, then the other issues aren't seen.
Okay. I'm gonna run out of time then, I guess. But I don't mind going on a little bit further if you want. But if you want to explain it, then
yeah. Why don't you walk us through it, Marek?
Okay. Yeah.
Right now, I don't think we can curl and speak to that BGP address, which makes me think that it's not being advertised, and we're dead in the water at that rate.
So on node 1, I just dropped all communication on the kubelet port, so that kubelet wouldn't be able to communicate anymore. That's all I did there. And then on the second node, the only thing I did was I took the kube config and turned its quality of service down so it could only make one request per second, which means that when you pull pods and stuff, it actually communicates more than that. And it makes a funny error because like the kubelet's working and communicating, it's just doing it really, really slowly and it causes weird errors. I thought that would be fun, but we never got to that. So
unless it said in the logs rate limited or something, I would never have found that.
Did you use that? Was the traffic control you used or something else to change the quality of service?
I used Go's built-in. Go has a built-in rate limiter, so I use that. That will do it. So it was. Anyways, I was pretty happy with that one. And then the very last thing that I did is I went into the deployment and for your Postgres database, and I dropped all capabilities on the container, which it has to access the file system and the network and stuff. So it had no capabilities, so the database would never run because it didn't have the permissions to. So that was the last thing.
Well, damn you both. I mean, I know we got a recompiled kubelet and a recompiled kube control, but messing with networking is just as evil. So.
Well, Russell, I appreciated your cluster. That was good.
Thank you very much. I was absolutely flummoxed by yours. Yeah, as I said, I would not have got that quality of service thing.
Well, I set you up for failure with a broken BGP, it looks like. So,
I'm definitely going to blame you. I'm definitely blaming you.
All right. Well, thank you both for joining me. Those were some really good breaks on both sides there. Really cool. And I hope that we were able to share some knowledge with the audience of how to potentially debug some stuff. And I will make sure that we have some properly working clusters before our next session. All right. I want to say thank you to Teleport and Equinix Metal again. Thank you to Russell. Thank you to Marek. I hope you all have a wonderful evening. Klustered is not back next week, unfortunately, but we are back the following week. So I will see you all then.
Yes.
All right. Have a great day. I'll speak to you all soon. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.